Yo, what's going on, Dragon Ballers? Welcome back to another video. Finally, nothing related to Nationals. We're finally done covering Nationals, guys. It's been like a week and a half. I know I even uploaded on the past weekend. I might do that more frequently if I can get enough content out there without it becoming, too repetitive, too uninteresting, things like that. But we're finally done with Nationals coverage, guys. Now I'm here with a very, very cool deck that I have to shout out Matt Coombs for at 3XG Productions. He gave me the idea to go with this deck. He was going to play something similar to this potentially at Nationals. He showed it to the team. I really like the idea, kind of ran with it a little bit in my own direction, so I'm here to profile it for you guys. I think it's a really fun deck, a deck that becomes much stronger now that Shenron is nerfed, because this isn't the most aggressive deck. This is what I really call a true control deck. This deck can control the game at all stages. I'll talk about that more when we get into the card choices. I'm really excited to show you guys this deck. But guys, before we do that, if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell so you can stay up to date with awesome Dragon Ball Super content just like this. Want to get plugged in with the Dragon Ball Super community, make sure to check out the Discord in the description below. Awesome group of people. Finally, guys, if you would like to help out the channel, there are now 3 ways you can do that. 1, you can check the Patreon in the description below. Lots of competitive content for you there. 2, you can use either of my affiliate links to Beer Collectibles or TCG Player to buy your set 8 needs, things like that, or the deck you see here. 3, you can join the YouTube channel membership program right down below. The join button's right there. That is a new thing I just started for you guys. I put a video up about it last night, so if you'd like to get a little more details on that, you can check that out. Thank you guys so much. I know these ads are kind of long and copious, but they all really help the channel out a lot. Really appreciate each and every one of you guys. With that being said, we'll get right into the deck. So Yellow Broly, I have a weird history with this leader. So back when this leader first came out, I couldn't stop playing it. I played Broly Storm for the longest time, and I love the deck so much. And I know people hate Storm, but in my opinion, when it became Broly Storm time, when Hurrigarn Storm kind of got crept out with the loss of Annealing Spirit Trunks and the introduction of Wargos, that was a really fun deck for me. I thought it was relatively fair, fun aggro deck. I played like a small lineage engine in it to make it a little more mid-rangey. Super fun. Lately, I've hated playing this leader because the ability that requires you to take life to gain advantage, I just haven't been able to stand it. Like, it stinks against aggro decks. It just doesn't let me play the game how I want to play it. It almost forces you to play a faster game. But actually, I'm actually doing a Patreon article on the tournament report. I took this to a locals last weekend, went 6-0 with it, and in a lot of matchups, I actually didn't attack my opponent with my leader for a few reasons, and I'll talk about certain cards as we go through the list. But this leader really complements this deck because when you do need Self Awaken, you don't have to rely on a ton of cards in the main deck. Main deck space is a bit tight, so we all know Yellow Broly does. We all know the Furthering Touch and Champa and Mirror Creator Absorbed. This is probably what I would call the actual win condition of the deck. Like, that seems obvious for a Yellow Broly deck, but this is not like a, slam a boss monster and win type of thing. This is not, obviously Yellow Apes. There's no Yellow Apes in this deck. This is really an attrition control deck. You really just want to whittle your opponent on resources, interrupt their plays, go in with Mirror Champa at the perfect opportune time. That's really what the goal of this deck does. So Mirror Champa is the clear-cut win condition for this type of strategy. Newfound Power Son Gohan, 1 piece of Self Awakening because Shenron is still a thing. If you are up against Shenron, a lot of times you do want to awaken by turn 3 so you can get underneath them and kill them before they kill you. So Gohan allows you to take 1 or 2 life a bit earlier, and if they don't answer this card, it's going to actually pick up a lot of value. All those crits are going to really put a damper in Shenron's plans. Sun Goten, Delusion Power, again, got a shout out Matt from 3XG and my teammate as well. Delusion Power was a really cool include that he came across. Originally, this was the Zamasu that goes with the SS Rose Goku Black, but you really don't need to play that Zamasu. It just pops 1 drops or less, which doesn't really come up all the time. And in this deck, you need greens that you can just combo. You need greens you can combo, and Goten is probably one of the best greens just for combo purpose. Like, if you use this card and you combo with it when a green card is in battle, that's offense or defensively, this is a 10k combo. So let's say you have Newfound Power Son Gohan on defense, or in rest mode, sorry, and your opponent's going to try and clear it with a 10k leader. Goten is a 1 card investment where you can save it. Likewise, if you're going for game with a Twisted Justice Fuse Zamasu, Goten's a 10k combo, and that's huge pressure. Sometimes with this deck and other Yellow Broly builds, you can kind of clunk on 10k combos, so it becomes a bit hard to either defend or finish the game. With Goten Delusion Power, kind of solves that problem. It's a really good tech card for sure. Next up, we come across the main engine of the deck. Super Saiyan Rose, Goku Black, a delicate plan. I'll read it for you guys real quick. Activate battle, pay 2, play this card from your hand, and then choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with energy cost of 2 or less and KO it. So this is essentially a 2-drop as long as you can get to a combo step, which is not that hard to do, and this card pops 2s or less. Super relevant against things like Skillless, Pan, other low to the ground aggressive decks. Really strong for that control aspect, keeping the board clear. Then activate main, pay 3, choose up to 1 green Zamasu card in your hand with energy cost of 5 or more and play it. Then at the start of your opponent's next main phase, choose up to 1 of your green energy and switch to active mode. So I was going to talk about it later, but I'll talk about it now. So you don't really care too much about starting with a dual color in this deck because you have turn 1 plays like Planet Vegeta, but it is kind of ideal to start with the Super Saiyan Broly All Out Assault turn 1 in your energy because of this guy's ability to untap a green. You really want to untap a yellow. You don't really have anything on your opponent's turn that requires green defensive energy, so yellow is the most ideal, but not starting with a dual color turn 1 isn't the end of the world, just to let you guys know that. We'll talk about the Zamasu we play now. Twisted Justice, Fuse Zamasu. Union Patora, we don't care about it. We're never doing it. We are only playing this guy off of Goku Black's effect. Double Strike, Indestructible. This card is not KO'd or removed from the battle area by neither battle nor your opponent's card skills. They basically can never remove this unless they somehow negate the effects with like Chantak Zeno play or the Kale Awakened Sister from the U6 deck. Really, two of the only ways you can get rid of this effectively and popular in the meta. When you play this card, choose 2 of your opponent's battle cards or up to 2 cards in your opponent's hand. Your opponent places all the chosen cards in the drop area, so that gives us more board control and a touch of hand control. So ideal curve, turn 2 Goku Black, turn 3 Twisted Justice, Fuse Zamasu, and you're starting to really take control of the game, whether it's clearing the board state or managing how many cards are in your opponent's hand. And again, I don't always attack my leader to their leader, because if I already have the play in my hand, which is not that hard to get because Goku Black searchable with Planet Vegeta, we do play 4 of the Zamasu. So again, if I'm trying to control my opponent's hand size, I won't be attacking them. I'll just do this play, and if you can spam Zamasu turn after turn after turn after turn, it really starts to tax the opponent on resources, which is what we like to see. Another MVP card in the deck though, Piccolo Assimilated Ability. This card we saw was absolutely insane in Janemba at Nationals, and it's really no different in this deck. Again, another reason why I don't attack my opponent with my leader a lot of the time, even though I'm not going to gain advantage, is because I want to keep a healthy life total so I can easily get to turn 4 and drop Piccolo. So Piccolo is a barrier 4-drop 20k, activate battle once per turn, bond 2, choose one of your opponent's battle cards with energy cost of 5 or less and KO it. If you KO'd a card, draw 1. So one of the reasons why it doesn't hurt too much to not attack with the leader and not draw cards is because once you do drop Piccolo, you're going to be plussing 2 every single turn. That's at your turn and your opponent's turn. It's going to make up for the lack of draw you had in the early game. Again, as long as you have the Piccolo, as long as you have the Goku Black Zamasu play, you really don't need to draw too many cards until the late part of the game. And you do need bond 2, so he counts himself and another battle card. Really awesome synergy. Zamasu with Indestructible is very hard to remove from the board, so as long as you do this on turn 3, Piccolo on turn 4, you're basically going to have a guaranteed bond 2 that really can't get interrupted. Next up, we have Super Saiyan Broly All Out Assault. This card is pretty much insane in the deck, mostly because of another card, but we'll talk about that when we get there. So when you play this card, or when this card is switched to active mode by a skill during your turn, choose one. Choose one battle card with an energy cost greater than or equal to your opponent's current energy and KO it. Doesn't come up all the time, but it is relevant in like the mirror match with Mirror Creator Absorbed. The other effect is much more relevant. Draw 1 card, then choose it to one of your opponent's cards and switch it to rest mode. So neat combo we have with this card in the deck, but besides that, you have your leader to restand it. You definitely want to do this a lot of the time when you're going in for a Mira. You restand this guy with an effect, or you arrival him into play, tap down your opponent's 1 negate energy. At that point, they're relying on sparking or they're taking damage from Mira. 2 Moteto Skill of a Sage. This card becomes so much better now that Ramp is effectively dead, because Ramp was really the main deck that could play around this. Now Shanjita, Toa, they can't play around this card because they're going to always cheat guys in for less than they cost. So Moteto is going to be really effective in that regard. 2-2 split between Time Magic and Flying Nimbus. I like the split. Nimbus is actually pretty important right now, especially in my opinion in this Broly leader, because like I said before, he's very fragile with his life. You have to take life to gain advantages, so Nimbus to defend sometimes is really clutch. Time Magic, excellent against so many boss monsters, especially like Digging Deep Vegeta, Pan, and Oob, which I face at locals all the time, so it's really important for me. Planet Vegeta searches most cards in the deck. Having a searchable super combo by Planet Vegeta is absolutely bonkers. Like 6 copies of super combo, you really can't underestimate that. Cold Bloodlust, of course, the one clutch super control card. Then we have our super combos, talked about it already. Paragus the Forebear, one of the main reasons why SS Broly All Out Assault is absolutely snapped. So activate battle, if the leader card's a yellow Broly card, and you place this card in the owner's drop area from your combo area, draw one. So essentially, what it's meant to do is, you combo with that card, you combo with the other color card you need for the arrival, you play the arrival, then you don't need the combo power anymore, so you can get rid of the Paragus to draw a card, not negging so hard on arrival. Kind of interesting how they pretty much created Arrival to get cheap things into play at the cost of negging cards, but now they're going to create more cards that reduce the neg on that, like see the Chi-Chi in set 8. But that's a discussion for another video, I guess. But this card's super good. I don't think you can play Broly without 4 of this in your deck. I mean, this is just Upstart Goblin from Yu-Gi-Oh! It just cycles through the deck, really important. Fired up Super Saiyan Son Gohan, a cute one of tech that I've liked a lot. Matt was playing it at 2, but I think only really one's necessary. I kind of find it hard to play in a lot of the games because, again, you are getting low on life pretty early in certain matchups. But this guy restands your green-yellow Broly at the end of the turn, proccing its effect. So if you can get that kind of foundational effect established, you're going to be plussing turn after turn after turn. Swift Retaliation Cooler. This card is obviously insane with Mira and Further Instruction Champa, just preventing the negate going in. Turn 4, if you can hold your Awaken, play Mira, attack. Cooler their negate, Awaken, drop Champa. That's just, you know, guaranteed 2 damage that they really can't do anything about. Explosive Spirit Son Goku, a cute 2 of. Really don't want to cast it for 3, but we have the next card in the deck, which cheats it out pretty efficiently. Son Goku, Time to Fight. So this is a 4-drop from the green Broly starter deck. Permanent. If your opponent has 4 or more cards in rest mode, reduce the energy cost of this card in your hand by 3, and you cannot play more than 1 per turn. Activate main, place the card in the owner's drop area, choose one green or yellow sand card with energy cost of 3 or less and 10,000 power or less from your drop area, play in rest mode, and then you cannot play anything else except green or yellow battle cards for the duration of the turn. So this card has a ton of synergy in the deck. First off, your leader taps cards, your Broly Arrival taps cards, so that makes this guy more alive more often. Secondly, Goku Black is a 3-drop, is a 10k or less green Saiyan. Explosive Spirit is a 10k or less yellow Saiyan. Paragus is a Saiyan. Unfortunately, your super combo is not a Saiyan that this thing can grab, but Explosive Spirit and the Goku Black Rose are the 2 main ones. For a late game Zamasu combo, it'll only cost you 4 energy. 1 for the Goku, and then 3 for the Zamasu to drop from your hand with the Goku Black effect. So overall, guys, this is the deck. I am having a ton of fun with it. I mean, I thought at first this was going to be something like more experimental and, you know, cheeky to play after Nationals, but this card, this deck actually is really solid, and I like it a lot. So I hope you guys enjoy it. Take it, mess with it. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. So I uploaded 2 more Nationals videos this week, the top 32 Shenron Maidens deck and the top 32 U6 Kaba deck. And really surprisingly, they only got like 200 views each. And if you guys, you know, are watchers of my channel at any regular rate, you see that I get like 1,000 views or more on average typically. And I was really surprised to see the low numbers on these decks. But I guess, you know, 1 week past the event was a little too far for relevancy. So sorry that you guys maybe didn't enjoy those videos. My apologies. Hopefully going to bring you guys some awesome set 8 content, some awesome Dragon Ball Super content that you guys are used to. My apologies again. Thank you guys all so much for watching. Really appreciate each and every one of you guys. As always, thank you so much. See you next time.